Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. This is a Nation United, and let's get right down to business. We have a pretty important off-season ahead of us, where, again, we could see quite a few changes to the roster based on progression. But before we get to that, we need to worry about the re-sign phase, and we're going to start by offering a deal to Marcus Högberg. Now, a controversial figure in this series at this point, I would say. Of course, going with him halfway through the season as we were about a 500 team turned out to not work out all that well, if we're being honest. And of course, that led to the controversial Robin Lehner trade and the even more controversial reacquisition of Robin Lehner. But you know, I'm hoping for some good things moving forward. At the very least, that is still a very solid tandem. Gustav Forsling, though, was the real bright spot of the second, of the second Robin Lehner trade where we reacquired him, because he is a solid defenseman that could become a staple of this series, or at the very least could help us recoup some assets down the road. Now, Rasmus Anderson is showing up as an 83, but is only looking for a two-way deal. That could be fairly telling and could be slightly concerning as we move forward into the next year. He's one of those guys that looks like he could really progress into a true NHL defenseman. We will see if that is the case. Nicholas Hansen, as I hit the microphone, and that really sucks because that can just... oh, that can throw off the audio quality and just really doesn't make you feel all that professional. But hopefully it wasn't all that noticeable, and I apologize. But to answer your question, yes, I just judo chopped in my microphone. Because that's what a good YouTuber does. Now, Bernhardt needs a new contract, and aside from that, we're looking okay. Rasmus Dahlin might not be signed this year. Again, I can't send him down to the AHL, unfortunately. So I think he'll sit there for another year, but that shouldn't stunt his development too much. He's still going to turn into a big-time player for us in this series. Carlson will sign to a $950K contract. Sundstrom. I'm gonna let go of Sundstrom. He's a good AHLer for us, but I think we can move on without him. Postler, again, I think I'm going to let him go for now. We might bring him back. Oscar Sundqvist had a disappointing year on that fourth line, and I think that's maybe something we should look to do. I mean, he's a physical force. Defensively, he's not terrible, but do we want to keep that fourth line, as the grind line? That's the question, because I really... that might have been the reason why we didn't make the playoffs. Had we just had, another offensive-oriented line, that may have pushed us over the edge, that depth scoring that we could have used. For now, we'll look to sign him, but I don't know if he'll stay. And we still have a lot of deals to make here. It's going to be a little bit before we get to the free agency period, where, again, who knows who will be available. Maybe we'll have a game changer fall right into our lap. That would be nice. But I'm not exactly holding my breath. The first couple now of free agency periods, we haven't been able to pick up anybody. Nobody has been available to us. So we will hope that that changes here in this episode. We'll sign a couple of guys to some two-way deals. Erik Karlsson, we can let go. We just picked him up as a part of a trade. Toby Lindberg, we'll sign him to that deal. That's fine. Asplund needs a deal. Not all that concerned about the asking prices. And then for centers, Eriksson Ek needs a big boy contract. He's looking for a decent amount of money. It'll be interesting to see if he jumps to a legitimate second-line player. That would help out quite a bit. Walmark will also re-sign. He's been pretty decent. We'll bump that down to $950 because that'll go through. Jonathan Dahlin needs a contract. He's looking for a decent amount. We'll drop that right about there. Not too worried about the 85% trick at the moment. As it is cap-wise, we're still looking at having to sign a veteran to a max contract just to make it under the cap. So I'm not all that concerned, but the good news is we have the re-sign phase pretty much taken care of. We're just going to have to double check to make sure that everyone has re-signed. Nicholas Hansen, Vedemo. Not going to read off every name. We'll just continue to scroll through all of these players as everybody has accepted. So just really quickly, let me go double check that was everybody. We have $17 million in cap space, which slowly but surely we're getting closer to the point where we're not going to have to offer every time a veteran a max deal. This might be the last year that we have to do it, which would be pretty damn sweet. So let's move on to free agency. Can we find, if not a gem of a player, how about a gem of an NHL level player at the moment? How about a gem of a prospect? Somebody that can help really change our fortune here. That would be nice. That would be nice because we have had absolutely no luck so far. So here we go. We have Doughty, Zuccarello, and nobody that can help us. Absolutely nobody. Well, that's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. Goaltenders? Do we have anybody? Bobrovsky? Nope, nobody that can help us out here. Now, prospect-wise, we don't have anybody. Damn, there is this Johansson guy who's a restricted free agent, 79 overall. We could look at bringing him in. I think we're good as far as the goaltending total. Lars Volden we wouldn't want to bring in. Anybody else age-wise? Carletto, but I'm guessing he's Finnish, so that's not happening. Arnold's. Helzhenko? I mean, he might be. I'm not sure, though. So we won't approach him. Joseph Lala. I mean, still, at the very, they're all medium backup. It's not like they're these amazing can't-miss prospects. AHL starter. Nope, nobody there either. So I will go out and send an offer to Jonas Johansson. And we'll see if we can steal him away. He is a restricted free agent. Arizona's interested. So we'll send him the max deal. We won't have to give up any picks either. And, I mean, he should be Swedish. I would be shocked if he isn't. That's for sure. Defensively, we're not going to have anybody that's worth going after for us. No. Okay. So, prospect-wise, we'll have to hope for the best. Oleg Alexandrov. I already know what you are. Robert Hagg, though. Robert Hagg is a restricted free agent. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. So Walensky's not available, Alexandrov's not available, but Robert Hagg is. I believe he belongs to Columbus. Let's go check out what their cap situation is. That way I know what number I can send out without them being able to match. And then we'll see, of course, what his asking price is. But let me go double check that he is actually on the Blue Jackets. They have about 1.2, a little bit under $1.2 million to spend. And yes, he is a restricted free agent. So they are not going to be able to re-sign him, which is wonderful news for us. Because at the very least, we could move out a defenseman that we already have, and he could get put into the third pairing. So let's see here. Robert Hagg willing to accept 2.4. 2.45. We'll drop it down to 2.4, and we should be in the clear to re-sign him. And actually, I'm going to bump that up just in case somebody comes in with an offer. Let's bump that up to 2.8 and see if we can steal Robert Hagg. No, never mind. That's right. He's restricted. We'd have to give up a second, which wouldn't be terrible. If I bump that down to 2.3... still a second. How far down can I go before it's no longer a second? Now we wouldn't have the proper draft pick. Shit. Which means we don't have our third round pick. But you know what? It's worth going hunting for. So, let's play Where Is My Third Round Pick? Because we don't have it, and I traded it away a long, long time ago. So let's go on the hunt for our third round pick. And we'll see if we can reacquire it. We have no picks this year, but again, we gave up all those picks to have a decent team early on, which has indeed happened. So let's see. The 2020 Stockholm Kings third round pick. Where is it? And hopefully the team will be willing to trade it, so we'll be able to pick it up a little bit more cheap. Edmonton's a good guess. Now Detroit has our fourth, but we're looking for our third. Edmonton doesn't have it. They have our seventh. Florida? Nope. All right. Minnesota, maybe. Wow, Minnesota doesn't have it either. Who the hell has this pick? I have no idea. We've made so many trades that I legitimately couldn't even guess at this point. I mean, Edmonton would have been a guess. Minnesota would have been a guess. Do the Rangers have it? No, they don't. Of course, it's going to be a team that's, I could have gone left starting off. We started using the right trigger, and because of that, we're sitting here. Now, Philly has our sixth, so we're getting closer. We're getting warmer. Who's it going to be? It's not San Jose either. My God, it's St. Louis. Well, if you guessed St. Louis, you win a prize. What is that prize? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. So, we will look to use the, and they're not worth a damn thing, but let's try to pile on these prospects that we're not going to use. How does that sound, St. Louis? Let's just give you a ton of essentially worthless prospects, at least to me, and let's see if we can make a deal. Let's see if we can make a deal. That won't go through. Or will it? Holy shit, it did. And I could have gotten more for them. You know what? I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Because we essentially just traded a bunch of nobodies for the third round pick that should allow us to sign Robert Hagg as long as he accepts that slightly reduced deal, which if he doesn't, I might still be willing to give up the second round pick for. So that's a second. I could just go look at the list to know what the number would be. But at this point, I'm committed and too lazy. Still a second. Is that the third? That's the third. All right, so let's try it. Let's see if we can get Robert Hagg. Now, Gavin Bayreuther, I believe. He is not available. Wotherspoon, Morrow, Dotchin, Valiev, Artem Manulin. Do we have anybody else that is available to us? Pisani, I have no way to tell. I'm assuming that he is not. That's the problem later on in the series, is I kind of just have to judge off the name. Funny enough, Wickstrand is available once again. Wish I could put him on a short list or something, just to be able to, like, oh yeah, I'll go back to him. But is there anybody else? Wilhelm Westland, also available. So we have quite a few high 7th D guys, including Tommy Hedberg, who I traded away and am absolutely going to look to bring back. So that's going to be sweet. We're going to be able to get Tommy Hedberg back for absolutely nothing. Christian Juice, or Juice, something like that. Someone said that's how you pronounce it. 24. You can get some medium 7T guys. So, okay, so we know that there are some defensemen that we could look to bring in. As far as forwards go, Malta Stromwall. I said I didn't want to bring him in because I didn't want to use the same players as previous series. You guys would rip me apart if I don't sign him to a deal. So that is exactly what we're going to look to do at 1.25 mil. Because sometimes if you overpay them, they still don't develop. He probably won't be any better than an 83. But you look at his offensive category, what an addition he would be to this team. So we'll look to get him on board. Victor Stahlberg is once again available. So we do have some options. We absolutely do. Michael Grabner's there, but he is Danish, I do believe. And of course, Johan Sundstrom's there. Do we have any prospects? Right-wing prospects? It's not looking like it. Not really looking like it. Pontus Aberg's there, but we know he's not going to turn into anything. It's not looking too good. Not looking too good. All right. As it is, I forgot how many contract spots we have available. Holy shit, Christian Vesalainen's a free agent. Florida didn't sign him. He was Swedish, right? Oh my god, was he Swedish or Finnish? I don't care. I'm signing him just in case he's Swedish. Holy shit. That's the game changer that I was talking about. I feel like Ostap Safin might also be Swedish. God damn it. I wish I had my phone and or laptop next to me at the moment, but I do not. Well, shit. Alright, well, before we progress, let me go look at the current number of contracts that we have, because as it turns out, this could be a very eventful free agency period for us. Very, very eventful. So we're on 42 deals. So far, we've sent out a goalie deal and a deal for Robert Hagg and Tommy Hedberg. Okay, so we're still in a good spot here. We're still in a good spot. We're in a very good spot at the moment. And the Stromwall deal. Shit. So we're actually a little bit more rough than what I thought. Oscar Lindberg's available. So Vesalainen. Christian Vesalainen. Right. Right. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? Editing is for the weak. Editing is for the weak. So allow me to walk to the other side of the room as I raise my voice to try and act like the mic volume is not going to change, as I am now standing up in front of my desk. So again, the sound might be different because I'm unprofessional, but that's okay. We're good. We got the laptop in front of me. We're going to let this boot up, and we're going to find out if Christian Vesalainen is in fact Swedish. By this point, you would have already Googled it yourself. And you're going to be sitting here yelling at your screen saying, just fucking get him. He's Swedish. But you know what? You know what? I just want to double check. I want to play it safe. I want to play it safe. And so I shall. But holy shit, is this laptop taking forever to boot up. Not what I planned on. Oh, good. And the battery's almost dead. That's even better. That's even better. And it just died. Okay, well, there you go. Sweet. Well, guess what? We're signing him. We're going for him. And if he's not Swedish, we'll trade him away and accept the punishment. Simple as that. Elias Pettersson's available too. All of these players are falling back right into my hands because these teams aren't signing them for whatever reason. So that's lovely, as I think I just got a notification pop up on my PC. I don't know. I felt like I heard the sound. Well, let's see here. Of course, we can't go with either of these guys. Ratcliffe is not. He is Canadian. Is Ostap Safin? I'm going to take a risk on Safin. I feel like he is. I swear he is Swedish. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm willing to take the risk. Sundstrom as well. We could bring back, but he's not going to improve any. He would just be an AHL staple. Now, I am going to have to get rid of some players that are under contract here, because I have to play it safe to make sure that we can potentially sign everybody. So currently we have 4 goalies. We'll have a 5th if that guy signs. Defensively, let's get rid of Lundin. Yeah, Lundin's going to be the guy to go, unfortunately. Unfortunately, but that's all right. That's all right. And then, like I mentioned, Oscar Sundqvist. It's looking like it's his time to go. It's looking like it's his time to go. So we'll look to trade out what the 4th line has been. So last year the 4th line was... It was Lindberg that was there with him. That's who I was thinking of. Well, Sundqvist, considering you have no value and you haven't really progressed, I'm going to guess that's just going to be a theme and you're going to be gone. Unfortunately, Joachim Nordstrom, I'm also going to look to move out. And then could potentially move Axel Holmstrom out as well. You know what? I think I'm going to do exactly that. Let's just clear out space. Let's clear out space and make sure that we are good to go here. We'll make sure that we are good to go here. We actually already acquired, of course, the Bruins' second rounder. How about the Sabres, though? How would you like to give up a second round pick? Because apparently that's what you can get for a bunch of players that you don't want. And that went through, and I could have gotten even more out of it. But you know what? I'm not all that concerned, considering some of the players we're about to bring in. We have yet to see the level of progression we're going to get from some of these players, because this offseason has been oh so kind to us. We have the incredible chance now to pick up some high-quality players. Now, Andreas Johnson, I'm going to hold on to for now because he still has a chance to turn into something decent. So, it says we're on 38 contracts. So, we're on 38 contracts. How many deals have I sent out so far? If I could actually use the proper trigger, that would be good. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Beautiful. And 45, including the goaltender. All right. So we still have some spots here. We still have some spots. Let's take a look. So Sundstrom I'm not worried about. At least not now. We could look at still bringing him in after. We sent an offer to Stromwall. Larson we wouldn't want to deal with. High bottom six. Anybody? Anton Bleed, and he could be an immediate replacement for Sunkvist, and would be an improvement, really. I'm going to look to bring in Anton Bleed. I don't think he'd be that bad of an addition. And from there, I think we're good. Auber, Gustafsson, who we've already had, Nosen. I think we're in the clear here. I think we're good to go. It's just a matter of sorting through the rest of these. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. And then if we decide we want to bring in like a Victor Stahlberg or something like that, or an Oscar Lindberg, for example, which honestly might be a really good idea. Jori Lehtera is Finnish. I am 99% sure. But Oscar Lindberg is eligible to play for us and would be a pretty strong pickup. You know what? To the point where I'm going to offer him a deal right now. I'm going to offer him a deal right now. Actually, in thinking of it, he's Swedish, isn't he? I don't know. Part of me's like, maybe he's not. But, you know what? Let's send him the deal that he wants, and let's sim forward here. Let's sim forward and see if we're good to go, and see how many of these guys accept. We sent out a lot of max deals for the two-ways. Let's see here. Tommy Hedberg is back. Tommy Hedberg's back. All right. Moment of truth here. Moment of truth. Malte Stromwall is here. Anton Bleed is here. Robert Hagg has rejected, but we still have a chance. Oscar Lindberg accepted. Johansson accepted, but he's an RFA. Elias Pettersson has accepted. Christian Vesalainen and Ostap Safin. Holy shit. All right, let me go double check Safin first. If I was wrong, and he's not Swedish, the punishment will be I have to keep him until the end of the preseason where I'll trade him away, but that means I won't be able to go out and pick up somebody. Vesalainen was Swedish, wasn't he? Wasn't he? He's Finnish. Same with Vesalainen then. Same with Christian Vesalainen. We're going to have to trade him. Fuck. That sucks. That sucks. I thought he was, but you look at his value. I won't trade him away for fair value either. That was my mistake. That was my mistake. I wanted him so badly, and Safin isn't either. Shit. All right. Well, that's a bit rough, but hey, we got Oscar Lindberg and Malte Stromwall. I had to take the chance, and I know Anton Bleed is. Damn it. Damn it. Vesalainen and Ostap Safin. I had a feeling he was Czech or Slovakian, but I had to hope. Oh well. All right. We still had a few offers out, mainly for the RFAs. So let's double check here. So for goaltenders, we were good. I mean, even if that guy can't sign because his team keeps him, there wasn't anybody else. Defenseman, we wanted to go back in for Robert Hagg, in which case, you know what, I am willing to give up the second round pick. I'll do it. Because odds are we'll end up trading somebody away to make sure he can stay, and we'll get a second round pick out of it. So I'm fine with that. Was there anybody else? EA, please bring that back to where I can see their nationality from here. It would be extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. I don't think there was anybody else medium 6. There were the high 7ths. But like Lindholm, I mean, they're 24 years old though. How much better are they going to get? The answer is not much, so we're going to hold off on signing them. And for forwards, I mean Sundstrom. Who else was there? I forget. I'm so frustrated at Christian Vesalainen. I mean, you would think with the last name. You would think. But I had hope. And I was wrong. But that's okay. Like I said, we'll just get rid of them. It'll be fine. Who else could we pick up here? I think we're pretty much good. We'll just wait to see if these RFAs sign with us. Because everyone else is just kind of middle of the road and would just be, you know, good players to have at the AHL level. So let's see if the goalie, the RFA, well, there he is. We already know he accepted it. We just got to find out from his team. And then Robert Hagg. Now, we did get the goalie from Arizona, which is good. So that's nice. Will we end up with Robert Hagg? Is the question. He accepted. We know that Columbus can't match it. So we'll end up with Robert Hagg as well, which is pretty damn sweet. We have to give up a second round pick, but that's fine. And we are good to go. So let's sim the next season, or sim to the start of the season. We will actually not even wait until the end of the preseason. We'll just, if we end up getting punished for it, that's fine. But we will gift somebody Christian Vesalainen and Safin. I'm not sure who that's going to be. Again, I won't cheat the game. It was a mistake. I ended up signing 2 players I'm not allowed to have on this team, so it needs to be viewed as more of a punishment. I am going to gift these 2 players. I mean, I might take a 3rd round pick out of it, but, I'm not going to go out and get Erik Karlsson with him. It's a player I never should have been allowed to have. As much as I'd love to go out and trade for Erik Karlsson right about now, I'm not going to do that. Even I have at least a little bit of dignity left. Just a little bit. Only a little bit when it comes to abusing this game. So before anything else, and for some reason I don't know why it was set to that. It should have been on trade. Before anything else, let's go get rid of those 2 guys that we are not allowed to have, and we'll move forward from there. So, Christian Vesalainen, you just couldn't have been Swedish. Damn it. And then, it is funny though that we got Elias Pettersson back. And then Safin, I was hoping for the best. It didn't happen. At the very least here, who do we have? Can we go to like a rebuilder to help out their rebuild? Or is everybody a contender or hopeful? Boston's a rebuilder! Well, the Bruins are about to get a gift. How are they a rebuilder when they have Connor McDavid? What? That makes no sense. I almost want to steal Ekholm from you for that reason alone. How are you a rebuilder at the moment? That is ridiculous. They signed Jesper Seidenberg to a deal. All right, let's get this over with. I'm going to take a 3rd round pick for both of them. Yeah. Nope, that's too much. I fucked up. I shouldn't even have them in the first place. Let's do it. 7th round pick. You go to Boston. There you go. I'm going to take a slight punishment for trading them immediately, but I made sure to at least do it in the same deal. They're gone. We move on. Now, the interesting thing, for goaltenders at least, is that Högberg ended up moving up to starter, which, we'll see how that works out. We're still going to keep him as our backup. Defensively, we have a couple of 84s, and yeah, that's what I was expecting. So, acquiring Robert Hagg might not have been the best idea. But we could do with him what we did with Enstrom and Johnny Oduya. And we could just wait and trade him away if we wanted to. Yes, we gave up a second rounder for him. We could easily recoup a second rounder for him. We're going to have to figure that out. Let's see if the forward situation is any more kind. No progression from Arvidsson, Kempe. No progression from Eriksson Ek. Lindbergh went up to an 85. Alright. So you got Lindbergh and Bleed. Wallmark at an 82. Grunstrom. Holy shit. Alright. Well, Nylander and Luke were down in the AHL. So that's 12 right there. 13, 14, 15. Looks like Anton Bleed might be going too, and Toby Lindbergh. I wanted to see if he would progress. He didn't. Jonathan Dahlin is also an option at an 83. But for now, well, hold on here. Let me double check. So, 1, 2, that's the first line. That is the second line. 1, 2, 3. That is the third line. Then Stromwall, Luke. Tough to say. Let's send down these three guys for the moment. So let's sort by role. First line, second line, third line. So somebody on the third line would have to be bumped. Probably Forsbacka Karlsson or Oscar Lindbergh. And have Lindbergh play with Luke and Stromwall on the fourth line. That's looking like how it's shaping up. Which wouldn't be bad unless Lindbergh complains about ice time. And if he does, well, actually, we could look at trading Lindbergh, too, and just call up Dahlin. So it's looking like Bleed, Lindbergh, and Oscar Lindbergh, who we just signed, are going to have to be traded. Which is fine. I mean, we can sign them just to trade them and get assets. There's nothing against that, as long as they are Swedes. So that's interesting. And then in return, we will have to pick up some forwards. And then defensively, again, we have to figure something out here, as we have way too many guys listed for the same role. So defensively, it's a lock. The top pairing is, of course, Hampus Lindholm and Victor Hedman. You have Bengtsson listed as a top 4 guy, and of course he's been great for us. So from there, it's Karlsson, medium top 4 at 22, Gustav Forsling, Robert Hagg, or no, Rasmus Anderson's listed as a top 4. Oh my god. Alright. And then we have Liljegren with who? Liljegren with Hansen, Lagesson, Gunnarsson, or Karlsson, Forsling, Hagg. God damn, what a defensive logjam this is. So let me go look at trade values. That's going to be the big decider here. That's going to be the big decider here, I think. So let's see. And it's Forsling, who's up there with Liljegren. And then you have Anderson, of course, who is listed as a top 4, along with Bengtsson, kind of in that same spot. So we'd have Forsling with Liljegren, which means trading Karlsson, Hansen, Hagg, Gunnarsson, and Lagesson. And we're going to have to pick up some depth defensemen, or some AHL level defensemen, in the process. That is crazy, for one. Absolutely crazy. But it has to be done. It has to be done. So, let's get that set up. We're going to have to trade away a lot of these guys, and I am going to have to sim forward to the start of the season to do it, just so that I can trade these guys and get away with it. Now, we do have the 5 goalies signed, so that's taken care of. Goaltending's good. It's just figuring out the AHL and the NHL, which we know what we have to do. So let's sim forward to the start of the season and make a ton of trades. That's what it comes down to. We'll sim forward to the start of the season, and then we'll have to make a ton of trades. Now, yes, I know it won't help my GM rep. I won't do it again, I swear, except I totally will after the preseason. I should have just waited, in hindsight, clearly. I should have just waited to trade Vesalainen and Safin just because of the logjam of players that we already have and that we're already going to have to trade away. But it's all right. It's all right. We'll figure it out. So, 10 players. Wow. Oh, it's going to be slim pickings. It is going to be slim pickings moving forward in these drafts. So it's a good thing that we already have, you know, a good situation here. And we can continue to scout to see if some of the prospects that we were, you know, not too high on and that we passed up on, we'll see if that, you know, if we want to go back and trade for them at a later date. But there we go. Has the season officially begun? Please? Yes, it has. Good. Our record has changed over. Let's go make some trades, shall we? Oh my God. All right. The first step in finding a trade partner here, we're going to focus on defense first. So let's see if we can find some Swedish defensemen that are under a certain overall. Now, would this be the perfect time to make jump cuts? Yes, it would be. Is that what I'm going to do? You already know the answer to that, don't you? You already know the answer. So we are looking for Swedish defensemen under a decent overall. Although, you know, now that I see Lindholm, going to the free agent list to see who is left wouldn't be terrible, but we would have to start simming games. And I don't want to do that until the roster's set, so never mind. But we could look to pick up Anton Lindholm, who of course has played in the AHL quite a bit. So let's talk to Boston here. Let's talk to Boston. Fortunately, Gabriel Carlsson is on the chopping block here. It looks like they'd be able to afford him. Barely. I hope. I know the bar is red, but sometimes that would still go through. How about your second round pick next year? And on top of that, how about a fourth and a fifth this year? Will that go through? No, it wouldn't, and it is because of the red bar. Well, I'm not willing to retain salary at the moment, so it was worth a shot. Sometimes, even though it's a red bar, they still accept the deal. It was worth a shot. Let's see who else we can get here, and I'm not picky in terms of what defenseman we take. I might even take Lundin back. That's exactly what I'm going to do. We had to trade him to clear out contract spots. I'm going to take him right back. Why the hell not? And we'll see what kind of pick we can get from the Buffalo Sabres here. So that ended up being pretty interesting. I might end up having to go for a first. That won't go through, will it? No, it won't. So we'll have to tack on some picks ourselves. How about our third? How about our third round pick? That won't go through. How about your second? How would you like to have your second round pick back? Will that go through? No, it won't, surprisingly. That's how much they value their first round pick, even though they want to trade it. That still won't go through. Buffalo, you have to be kidding me here. You have to be kidding me. What the hell? All right, well, Buffalo, you're douchebags. How about somebody less than Carlson that we still have to trade? Because I do want to get, you know, close to fair value for him. So, Lundin is worth about a William Lagesson. A little bit less. So, let's go back to picks here. Let's go back to picks. And how about your nice, shiny third round pick? And honestly, I want a little bit more than that because you want to trade it. Let's pick hoard a little bit. Will that go through? Yes, it will. Lagesson is off to Buffalo as we pick up Lundin once again. All right. So, defensively, holy hell, we have a lot of moves we have to make. We really, really do. So, down in the AHL, we have Lundin, Hedberg. We have Lundin, Hedberg, and Bernhardt and Bronstrom. Okay, so that's actually looking okay. And Bronstrom. Right, so we need 4 more defensemen, and go figure that's about as many defensemen as we need to trade. So Hansen will be up next, hopefully. Let's go ahead and take a look here at some of the defensemen that we could potentially pick up. You are 23 years old. You fit the bill, but you are 23 years old. That is a shame. That is a shame. Esa Lindell, you're Finnish, aren't you? Yes, you are. Do we have any Swedes aside from the one guy that we already knew was a Swede? No, we don't. All right, Columbus. That's I think Hansen though might still work. He's on a two-way deal, isn't he? Didn't he accept a two-way deal? He's not on that much money. I know that much. Let's see here. Nassen, I'm pretty sure, is Swedish. Yes, he is. And he is a perfect fit for the AHL squad right now. A perfect fit. So that'll work out well. And he is someone I've kept an eye on for a while and had a feeling we'd end up with in this series. And there you go. For Hansen, we get Nassen. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. This team's starting to come together. And then I have to worry about all the forward-related trades we have to make. It's about keeping the team in a good spot moving forward and, you know, continually recycling prospects. And just keeping that going. Now, it's a shame, Gunnarsson. I would really like to keep you, Gunnarsson, but there just isn't space. There just isn't space for you at the moment. Are there any Swedes? Are there any Swedes? Cederholm is actually Swedish. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Well, that worked out perfectly then. 78 overall. And we'll look to send him to the Calgary Flames. And we're going to try to pick Horde to the max here. And that's why it went through. We get Cederholm. And right now, the AHL team, the Ontario Reign, are looking pretty damn good, I must admit. They are looking pretty damn good. How do you like the Boston Bruins, by the way? Winning the lottery, and they're still listed as rebuilders, despite picking up Christian Vesalainen and Safin for absolutely nothing. What a blunder. What a blunder. But here we go. Who's left? Bengtsson, Anderson, Carlson, and Hag are the last two that need to go. And we'll actually have the perfect balance of defensemen. Beautiful. So Carlson, let's see if we can find a destination for you. They need to have cap space. Edmonton might be the spot. Go figure. We've made plenty of moves with Edmonton. As is, they have quite a few Swedish defensemen because of us. But let's see. Any Swedes? Not looking like it. All right. Edmonton's not going to work out. Anywhere else with cap space? Nashville. Nashville. Can you help us out? Not with Oleg Alexandrov. You could with Petter Hansen. But, again, 23 years old. Not quite ideal. Is Vala Swedish? No, you're not. I had a feeling. Alright, no ideal options there. The Islanders have space. Any decent options here? Stevens, McFadden, Manulin, Jenkins, Mullen. Not well. Hold on. Let me scroll all the way down. We might as well be thorough about this. They did take Sedin, and they signed him. I told you there was a chance we could end up with Sedin because they signed him. This makes all the sense in the world. Let's try to get him. And there wasn't anybody else, right? Just to double check, because to be honest, I just kind of scrolled over those last few names. So there's Hayduk, Plouffe, Brendel. Brendel can't be. There's no way. Yeah, okay. All right, so Sedin will be the guy that we try to get. He'll be a depth defenseman at the AHL level this season, but he should still progress. Now, in order to make this work, we're going to have to give up picks, but that's okay. That's okay. Will this go through? No, it won't, but I have a feeling we're closer than what they made it out to be. Third round pick from Buffalo. Will that go through? They'd have to put Ian Cole on waivers. Now that's just bullshit, EA. Come on. Of course they'd have to fucking send down Ian Cole to do it. I don't think we're going to be able to get Sedin then. Because I don't want to take Ian Cole back. Let's go look elsewhere. Damn it. Well, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Let's look on Toronto. And we could be in a really rough spot with trade partners here. With potential trade partners. It could be rough moving forward. Is Allard or Allard? No, obviously not. Any Swedes? Nope. Oh boy. Yep, cap space is going to be an issue. Cap space is going to be an issue. Speaking of the caps and cap space, of course they have Johnny Oduya. Yoki Harju is Finnish, unfortunately. He would have been a nice fit for this team, and we are officially struggling. So right now, we're going to have to hope that a team can just take on the contract and send somebody down, hopefully. Johansson? Canadian. Damn it. Canadian, damn it. Oh boy, we're in a rough spot. We are in a rough spot based on the amount of decent players that we have. That is a shame. Arvidsson, there's a chance. Arvidsson is Swedish, and they signed him to a deal. All right, I think we just maybe found a lifeline if they can take the contract. That is the question. Can they take the contract? Will that work? No, it won't. They'd have to put Chris Russell on waivers. Oh boy, and like I said, I know it's red bar. We've seen teams take trades with the red bar before. I have to just double check, you know, because sometimes they'll still take the deal. But so far we have had absolutely no luck. Byström is Swedish, but I don't know how good he actually is, and he is listed as a top 6 defenseman. So we're going to have to pass there. Yeah, there's nobody on Tampa that we'd want. Boy, jump cuts would have been perfect, but that's okay. It's not going to get any easier. Not going to get any easier when we have to look for forwards and who we move out. All Canadians with the exception of Hornqvist, who isn't worth a damn thing. Not a damn thing. The San Jose Sharks. Do you have anybody that fits what we are looking for here? All Canadians and Finns. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, well, they got one. Nilstorp. Who is worth kind of something. I'm willing to take it. And they'd have more than 45 skaters. Shit. Oh, this is what I was worried about. This is what I was worried about. Murphy, Mahura, Hoffenmeyer, Shore, DeSalvo. There's just nobody. Slychuk, you're going to be Canadian because you're in the CHL. Oh my God. We could be in a ton of trouble here and legitimately end up stuck with players that we can't do anything with. We could end up being stuck with players that we can't do anything with, and that could be disastrous. Let's see here. We do have a Swede, Boroman. All right, and do we have another one? We do, and Kalle Nilsson. All right, we have a lifeline. Nilsson and Boroman. Please, Philly, do something good for once as a team, as a city. Please be able to take this deal despite the whole red bar. Please. Value's just a bit low. You know what? That's okay. We'll give up a 4th. Please, God. Fuck Devin Taves. How about that? Fuck Devin Taves. You don't need him. Fucking shit. I have no workaround for it aside from, like, you know, trading for Devin Taves, but then he'd just sit down in the AHL and would complain. God damn, there's got to be one team with a red bar that we can get to work here. There has to be one team where we can get this to work, and the problem is we still have a couple of guys we need to trade. Now, hold on. Who else was there aside from Carlson at this point? That's my question. Who else was there? So there was Carlson. We're keeping Forsling. So Carlson and Hag, who both have cap hits. That's the problem. That is the problem. They both have cap hits at this point. So it is going to be tough. There is a guy here, though, a Carlson. Please. Lucas Carlson. Oh, my God. Please, please, New York. I'm begging you. I am begging you. Is there anybody else? Any other Swedes? Please? No. All right. Well, Ludvig Carlson. Can we get this to work with the Rangers? I know they have the red bar, but can we get this to work? I doubt it based on the defensemen that they have on their team. They'd have to put Edmondson on waivers. Oh no, we can't lose Joel Edmondson, said no team ever. Rat bastards. Alright. We'll keep looking. We will keep looking. There has to be a team that can work. Lindbaum, is Finnish. Any Swedes? Any Swedes? Magnus Edler, who we traded before. Now, would that work? I know they're red bar. He's not signed. We could just sign him. Can we get this to go through is my question. Nope, they'd have to put Lindbaum on waivers. You know, the guy that you're pissed at and probably don't care if you lose because he's not happy. I know teams with a red bar. I know the trade can go through. I just have to keep on trying, and that's the frustrating thing. That is the frustrating thing. Actually here, Dahlstrom, listed as a minor league top 2. This could be it. This could be our chance. They also have Westland and Jews and Movarare. Oh my god. They have everybody. Dahlstrom. Dahlstrom. All right. Can we get this to work? Dahlstrom is on the NHL team. This will work. We will be able to get him, and he'll be the gem of our defense down at the AHL level. This should work. I'm going to try to pick Horde because it's Montreal. Will this work? No, you wouldn't. You're trading NHL defenseman for NHL defenseman. God, I know Dahlstrom's cap hit isn't the same, but fuck. All right, no, you know what? No, I'll retain salary on Carlson, as stupid as that is. I will retain salary. We will make this work, damn it, because I have to. Because I have to. So here you go, Montreal. Here you go. This should go through. Again, I'm going to pick Horde because it's Montreal. Will that go through? You fucks. Will that go through? No. Will this go through? Thank you. All right. Carlson is gone in favor of Dahlstrom, who is thankfully still listed as an AHL player. We have one more trade to make for defenseman, that being Robert Hagg. And I don't know if we're going to be able to pull that off. I genuinely don't. This is going to be a very tough trade. This is going to be a very tough trade. But let's see what we can do here. Minnesota. Minnesota. All right. So we'll start looking now at like 83s and 82s. So Shalin will be Swedish. Yep. Is he the only one? They have Ackerman, who's not worth anything. All right. So we have this guy, Shalin, or whatever the hell your name is. Again, I know it's going to be red bar, but we will hope for the best. We will hope for the best. And by hope for the best, I mean tack on a first-round pick because I'm insane. No, it was an accident. Second and a third, though, might work. Will that go through? No, it won't. How about just the second? Nope. All right. So let's pick Horde quite a bit. Will that go through? It would, but it can't. So let's retain on Robert Hagg because I have no choice. Is that good enough? Yes, it is. Okay. So we're going to have to retain on the last 2 defensemen to make this work. But I don't care. I do not care. Second round pick is a bit too much in terms of value. So we'll tack on a 4th from the Calgary Flames. That will go through. And actually, you know what, Minnesota? I'm going to be a little bit cheap here. You said you'd be willing to take a 4th. How about a 5th? Can I save myself an extra pick? No, I can't. Actually, though, it said sweeten it just a touch, so we will do that. How about a 7th rounder from the Bruins? And there you go. Robert Hagg is off to Minnesota. The defense is set. My God. Now we still have more deals to make at the NHL level. This is ridiculous. This is absurd. All right. So, NHL level, of course, we have the Nylanders. And yes, of course, I am writing up one of my infamous depth charts to really help keep track of this, because there are a certain number of players that I prefer to sign. So we got the Nylanders and Forsberg on the top line. We still have Arvidsson, and actually, let me take a look here. Arvidsson's still listed as a second-line guy. Yes, he is. Kempe is still a third-line guy, which is pretty disappointing. Eriksson Ek is still a third-line guy. Burakovsky, though, is a second. And in fairness, that second line did okay. That second line was doing okay. Oscar Lindberg is a third-liner, but he's probably going to be traded. We have Jens Luke, who will be on the fourth line. Forsbacka Carlson, so it'll be him or Lindberg, so Lindberg's going. We have Dahlin for the fourth line. We also have Malta Stromwall, who I completely forgot about. Right. So, yeah, it'll be Stromwall on the fourth line, since he's listed as a depth guy, which a lot of people will probably say, no, play him higher, but if he's a depth guy, we might as well play him there. So, that means that Lindberg has to go. Lindberg has to go. Down in the AHL, we have Carl Grundstrom, who is rapidly approaching being NHL ready. This might be his last year in the minors. We have Lucas Wallmark, who I don't think will ever make the NHL level, but he'll be somewhat close. Anton Bleed, who we just picked up, has to go. Rasmus Asplund is looking like a solid player again. Should make the NHL level. Both Lindbergs have to go, I should say. Marcus Davidson, all right. Top 6 for the AHL is looking pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. It's looking pretty damn good. Andreas Johnson, it's looking very good, actually. A lot better than I was expecting. We have Jesper Boqvist as well. We have Sebastian Olsson, who is up to a 77 and will actually get some decent playing time this year. Elias Pettersson, who is back in the fold. The only guy that we're really missing is Laia Sanderson, who I could try to reacquire. I could. He could be due for a return. We have Kevin Stenlund. Right. And then from there it drops off. From there it drops off. Okay. So we're still in a good spot. To the point where I could actually go talk to Minnesota about getting Elias Pettersson, or not Elias Pettersson, but Laia Sanderson back. He's an 80 overall. He would be perfect. He would be perfect for the AHL level. And he'd round out the 12 skaters, and then the rest would be depth. Let's go see if we can get him back. Let's go see if we can get him back. And I told you guys that there was a chance of this happening. I told you that there was a chance of this happening. Now, they can't afford to take on any contracts. So it would pretty much just have to be for picks, but I'm alright with that. Silvergard we'll tack on. We'll keep Gunnarsson. We'll end up signing Gunnarsson. So that's not bad. We'll end up signing Gunnarsson. I'll just have to sign him. And then defensively, do we have any unsigned guys? No, we didn't. We already got rid of them. So we'll look to swap them Silvergard. And, of course, we'll have to factor in some picks here, but that's okay. You guys have seen what's available in the draft, which is why I'm not totally against giving up picks like a madman, like I've done. I'm not against it. It's fine by me. It is fine by me. And half the guys that are traded anyway, I can end up just trading for to begin with. Although, apparently, it might be much more difficult to get Laia Sanderson than I anticipated. Will that go through? No, it won't. So Silvergard isn't going to be an option anymore. Oh my god, are we really going to have to pay out the ass here to get Laia Sanderson? We actually can't afford him. Unless I give up a first-round pick next year, which I very well could. Although, you know what? You know what, Minnesota? Let's do some bullshit here. Let's do some bullshit. So, you have a third-round pick, right? You have a third-round pick. Well, how would you like if we traded up for that third-round pick? How would you like that? And then, we'll package some third-round picks together to get second-round picks. And then we'll turn those seconds into firsts. And at the end of the day, we end up with Laia Sanderson. That is what I'm telling you. Because he needs to be on this team. He is going to be a part of this team, despite how fucking stingy you are being with your picks right now, despite the fact you want to trade that pick. Minnesota knows I'm trying to screw them over. So they are being complete assholes about it. But that's okay. That's okay. Now, Florida. Florida. Actually, we're going to go for your third round pick as well. And then we're going to go for your second. And then we're going to go talk to Minnesota. So, let's see here. What can I get here for your third round pick? What can I do to get that pick, as we are just into full-blown pick hoarding, cheap as hell mode? But you know what? That is fine. That's fine by me. That is fine by me. I know who I want on my team at this point, and that's exactly who I am going to get. Now, we use these third-round picks to trade up for their second-round pick. Then we use second-round picks to trade up for their first-round pick, so on and so forth, until I get what I want, and that is a player by the name of Laia Sanderson, who we have previously had on this team. But let's see here. Will that go through? Yes, it will. Beautiful. Now, let's take Florida's first, because we can. We'll use the second-round pick that we actually just acquired from them. And we'll see what we can do here. Now, the third-round picks aren't going to work. We're going to have to give up another second. But I can try to be stingy with it. I can try. Yeah, that didn't go through. That's fine. That's fine. Let's use the Montreal pick. Will that go through? Yes, it will. I actually gave up way too much, but that's okay. Let's go talk to Minnesota again. Now that we have an extra first-round pick, and we won't have to use our own for next year, let's go talk about Laia Sanderson, who has quite a bit of trade value, and it could be probably pretty problematic. Now, we'll tack Silverguard onto it. We'll tack Silverguard onto the deal. Let's go to draft picks again. Draft picks. We'll go to year. We'll use the Florida pick, the Buffalo third, and that's not going to be close. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Now we'll tack on your second round pick. How does that sound? Still no? We'll tack on another second round pick. How does that sound? Apparently it doesn't. Alright, let's just bump it up to 2 first. Let's stop wasting time, right? Let's just bump it up to 2 first. I'm going to just tack on a 6th, just as a safety net, which it's still not close, so that's alright. That is alright. How about the 3rd and the 6th? Will that go through? No, it won't. He is a valuable player. There is no doubt about that. So we have the second round pick. Let's tack on a 6th again, just as a safety net. That still didn't go through. My God. How much am I going to have to give up here to get this guy? Quite a bit, apparently. We're going to have to give up another second rounder. It'll be the Bruins one that has a bit of value. That still didn't go through. Man. The first round pick thing didn't work. Holy shit. Well, you know what? I don't care. I want him. I'm going to get him. He is going to be a hell of an addition to this team. He'll be back on the team that he always should have been on. And everybody can be happy. Again, first round picks to me, all I see are players that just aren't going to develop anyway. That's all I see. That's all I see. First and second rounders, it's fine. And again, we're going to recoup them. You know, at one point we had only a first and a second rounder. Now look at what we have available to us. That still hasn't been good enough to get Laia Sanderson over the past near 10 minutes. Holy shit, I'm not going to be able to get him. Alright, well, that was a gigantic waste of time because I can't afford him one way or another. Holy shit. Alright, well, that's that. Unless I give up 4 first round picks, we're not going to be able to get him. Unless I give up these seconds. Let's go talk to Minnesota. How about we pick up your first round pick? How's that sound? So 2 seconds and a 6th. Will that go through? Yes, it will. Now let's keep talking to you about Laia Sanderson. Because I'm not giving up, damn it. I'm not giving up. I want him on this team again. He's going to be a good player. We're going to get him. And again, I am insistent on sending you Silverguard just to troll you. Although, when I'm having to give up as many picks as I am, I don't know if you're the one being trolled here. That still won't go through. Will 4 first-round picks work for Laia Sanderson? Yes, it will. Have I lost my goddamn mind? Yes, I have. But it just shows how little respect I have for the system. You got to remember, we're about to trade Anton Bleed and both Lindberghs. So we are going to recoup something in the way of draft picks. And that's the way it will continue to be. I'm fine. I am fine with it. So, Lindbergh, we need 2 Swedish forwards. Preferably depth guys, but they don't have to be. They don't have to be. They could be AHL ready players. Wow, they have like nobody for forwards. All right, let's go talk to Edmonton. Edmonton, who do you have for potential Swedish forwards? That is my question. That is my question. Otto Sampi is Finnish, is he not? Yes, he is. Was that Trotter? I thought that was like Brock Trotter, former, I think, Arizona and Montreal prospect at one point. I think definitely Montreal. Glenn Lutzer is Hungarian. Interesting. Never would have guessed by that name. Detroit, do you have any Swedes? Do you have any Swedes? Not necessarily looking like it. Koppinen might be. Nope, he's Finnish. Well, shit. Since when is it so difficult to get a Swedish forward? What the hell? What the hell? Since when is it so difficult? Let's see here. Castles, obviously not. Valeno DeSantis, maybe? You never know. Swiss. I mean, yeah, you probably would have guessed Canadian. No, he's Swiss, apparently. So everybody was wrong. Everybody was wrong. All right. Come on. There's got to be somebody just hanging around here. I'm not even asking for anybody that's particularly great. I just need a Swede to fill out the roster. Lundin, low top 6. Okay, maybe not somebody that's that bad. Maybe not somebody that's that bad. I can't wait to see the comments about that Laia Sanderson trade. People thought I was ridiculous for giving up some of the other picks in previous trades, but like I said, I always end up with more draft picks. I always end up with more draft picks. It's never really an issue to end up with those draft picks, so I don't care, especially too when I'm limited to just Swedes. Like, yeah, is it gonna suck if a Swede ends up inside, like, you know, the top 5 pick, and then the pressure's on to actually select them? Sure, but there is always a chance that Swede could end up being a bust and have really low value for a top 5 pick. So I don't know. We'll see. Unfortunately here, I mean, I need to trade 3 players, and I have yet to find a Swede that really fits the spot that we are looking for here. I mean, I could just trade these guys and find players on the free agent list, which, I mean, I very well could do. Actually, Soderstrom's perfect, because he would be a depth guy. He would be a depth guy. That's perfect. Hopefully they can afford the deal. I mean, they're $500K over the cap. Will that go through straight up? The value actually is in their favor, funnily enough. I know what I can do. Oh, no, that's right. I did tack him on for the Minnesota pick. I forgot. I thought I didn't. I got Minnesota to take him, so that was good. How about a 6th-round pick in 2023? Apparently not. Well, I'm so low on picks at this point. How about a 5th-round pick in 2024? How's that sound? Still no. All right. How about a 4th-round pick in 2024? Still no. Are you serious? How about a 4th and a 5th in 2024 for an AHL prospect? Thank you. That worked out. I'm going to have to sign him as well as Gunnarsson. So we need to trade the other Lindbergh and Anton Bleed. And then we are good to go. Then we are good to go. And judging by the salary cap, I might have to sign a veteran to a crazy deal. So, Anton Bleed. Now we go through and try to find another Swedish forward. We need one more on the team. We just need one more guy, preferably as a depth player. preferably as a depth player. We shall see. Do you have any Swedes? You do not. Oh, you do. Gustafsson, but he's not worth a damn thing. Carolina, you have failed me. You have disappointed me. Buffalo. We've had some interesting discussions as of late, haven't we? Joachim Nordstrom, he would be a depth guy. He's actually listed as a fourth-line guy. Funny enough. Let's go down here since we're sorted by overall. Let's see. Elliott. Magnus Sjöström. Sjöström might be the guy. Stanley Getzlaf. Hell of a name. So let's see. And then Axel Holmstrom. You know what? Let's take back Axel Holmstrom and Sjöström. And we are good to go. Buffalo might actually. Can they take Oscar Lindberg too? Can you take Oscar Lindberg as well? Can you afford that? No, you can't. But if I retain salary, then can you? I'll retain 50 on him. That's fine. Whatever. Alright, they'd have more than 45 skaters, so it wouldn't matter anyway. Alright, so we'll just like to trade Anton Bleed for these two players. And then we will be good to go. So, third round pick next year? Actually, no, wait, the value is already in their favor, very much in their favor. I should probably pay attention. It might be difficult to get this deal done, now that I think about it. Actually, no, maybe not. That might go through. It didn't. One more pick should do the trick here. Let's see. Fourth rounder. Still no. Damn, it's not like you're giving up that much. It's not like you're giving up that much. Holmstrom and Sjöström. Holy shit. I'm getting robbed here. I'm getting robbed blind by Buffalo. Wow. Okay. Well, instead of Anton Bleed, who's apparently worthless according to you, let's talk about Oscar Lindberg, and then I could definitely get something in my favor. I'm going to have to retain a little bit, which is fine. That just boosts his value a little bit more. Now, let's talk picks here, you assholes. Let's talk picks. Well, the second and the third next year. Will that go through? Nope, that's too much. What am I thinking? Third round pick, I'd still say that value is probably in my favor. So let's go a fifth and a sixth. Will that go through? Yes, it will. So we get Holmstrom. We get Sjöström. And we are looking good. This team is just about set. We just have to trade Anton Bleed for absolutely nobody. That's pretty much the key. Trade him for a prospect or trade him for absolutely nothing. Hopefully picks. Are there any teams with space that can afford his deal? Washington. Washington. Hopefully you can take Anton Bleed. Third round pick. How's that looking on value? Looks like we can get more. Let's just try to pick horde, recoup some of those picks. Will that go through? No, it won't. Will that go through? No, it won't. How about just the third and the fourth? Apparently not. I don't want to sweeten the value just a touch. We'll just take the lower quality items. And, wow, okay, how about that? There we go. Anton Bleed off to Washington. All I need to do now, if you're still with me here, my God, this episode's been crazy. If you're still with me here, because of the cap space, I am going to have to go out and try to sign a veteran or just somebody else. It honestly doesn't even matter if they're a Swede. Timo Laine, he's going to be finished. I'll try to make it a Swede. Jesper Alas, he should be Swedish. If he's not, whatever, I feel fine in making that mistake. We'll sign him for 1 year. Let's just bump it down a little bit because I do have to still work with the cap space and certain players might still be in the AHL. Let's bump it down to that right there. That looks fine. That looks fine, and hopefully he accepts before we play our first game. Otherwise, that could suck and we might not end up with the roster that we want. We might not end up with the roster that we want. But let's go to contracts. I need to sign Gunnarsson and I think Holmstrom or Sjöström. Or it was Soderstrom. I have no idea. It was somebody. It was somebody. So, unsigned players. It was Gunnarsson, for sure. So we'll sign him. And yes, then it was Soderstrom. You know what? I'll actually just sign Schuström too. That's fine. And again, Rasmus Dahlin, we gotta wait until he's 20. Gotta wait until he's 20. So we're good to go. We are good to go. We just need that veteran to sign for us. Then we can fix up the roster and begin the sim in the next episode. Or we'll technically have to begin the sim now from the looks of it. Let's see if we can set up this roster. Let's see if we can set it up. See if it allows me to do that. So goaltending's good. Defense, we'll have to send down Nasson and Shalin for Anderson and Liljegren. We might lose Shalin on waivers, and we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Damn. I have to go reacquire him too. Alright, let's go do that really quick. Who just made my job a hell of a lot more difficult? Who's the bastard that just made my job a hell of a lot more difficult? Because now I have to go out and reacquire this goddamn guy. Waiver claims. Washington. Douchebags. And Toby Lindbergh actually got put on waivers and claimed by Columbus. Nice. Let's go talk to Washington and get our defenseman back. I'm going to be pissed if we reacquire him and then it puts him at the NHL level and I have to send him down again and he gets claimed again. I will lose my mind. Let's see here. We need to reacquire him because we need him for the AHL. So let's use some of those picks. Washington just punked me, basically. Washington just pick-hoarded me, practically. Let's see. Will that go through? No, it won't. Apparently it's not even close. I mean, I know that they don't want to trade him, but not even close? Really? Really? Come on. Oh, my God. Oh, waivers. What are you doing to me? Will that go through? No, it won't. Oh, my God. I could just let it go and accept life without him. Will that go through? If you know what? Fuck you. Fuck off. Let me go check free agency. Let me go check free agency for a depth defenseman. Screw Washington. Whatever. Absolute assholes. Holy shit, Ryan Ellis is still a free agent. So let's see here. Is there anybody left? Because there were quite a few guys that were left. Wickstrand would be perfect. Yep, he's perfect. All right. So we'll bring Wickstrand back into the fold. He'll be down in the AHL. So let's get the rest of the team set. And we'll figure it out from there. Let's see if we lose anybody else on waivers, which would really suck, to put it lightly. It would really, really suck. Forwards. So, 1, 2, so we got our 12 there. Laia Sanderson needs to be sent down. Gunnarsson, Schuström. Hopefully nobody else has to go to the junior level. It's not looking like it, though. All right, we'll send down Soderstrom. Beautiful. Okay. At least that worked out well. At least that worked out well. So, at the NHL level, I know that it puts Stromwall on the second line. But to start, this is what the team is going to look like. Unfortunately, you know me, I don't like having righties on the right, but it has to happen. I mean, Forsbach, Carlson, he is listed as a third-line guy. He's listed as a third-line guy. They're all listed as seconds. Actually, here, William Nylander is listed as a second-line guy. So you know what? It might be better to break up the Nylanders for now. It might be better to break up the Nylanders and have the first line be Forsberg, Raquel, Nylander, Arvidsson, Burakovsky, Nylander, Kempe, Eriksson, Ek, and Carlson. And then the fourth line, doesn't really matter what side they're on. We'll have Luke, Dahlin, and Stromwall. Defensively, it's pretty much set in stone. Pretty much set in stone. We'll have Bankston with Anderson, Hedman with Lindholm and Forsling, with Liljegren, of course, the goaltending. You already know, Robin Leonard and Marcus Högberg. Wonderful. Let's go best lines down in the AHL for now because that is not set in stone. Need to wait for Wickstrand to accept, and then we got to make sure that we get the proper guys into the lineup to give them the best lineup possible. So we'll sim our first game of the season against Carolina, and Stromwall broke his rib in the first fucking game and is out until December. This, oh my god, the past few episodes of this have been brutal. Absolutely brutal. So Carl Grundstrom will get the call up, and he'll be on the fourth line for the first half of the season. Alrighty then. Wasn't expecting that at all, but that happened. Alright. Well, at least he's a lefty, I guess. At least he's a lefty. Defensively, we're still good. Wow, Carl Grundstrom goes down to injury. Or not Carl Grundstrom goes down to injury. But Malta Stromwall goes down to injury in the first game of the year. Did we at least win? Please? Alright, hey, we at least won. Let's advance day here. Aulis has accepted. We need to hear from Wickstrand, please. Damn you, Wickstrand. Alright, let's send the next game against the Bruins. Wickstrand is here. We are 2-0. How do you like that? 2-0 through our first 2 games of the season. Alright. Let's go get the AHL set. But the NHL lineups are, fine for now. Carl Grundstrom gets the chance on the main roster. A decent playmaker. You could argue calling up somebody else would have made sense, although Wallmark was a two-way guy. Could have gone with Laia Sanderson. Still could. But we'll let him tear up the AHL for now. Speaking of which, let's go best line. So who is scratched? That is my question. Now, Califf isn't one of our players, so obviously we'll be getting him out of the lineup. So we have Holmstrom. Gunnarsson is ours, who we just drafted. So Holmstrom's a 72. We could go with Gunnarsson. Soderstrom. Alright, so do I go with Holmstrom? 23 years old, just to see if he becomes anything. And we could easily go with Gunnarsson if we wanted to. Let me just double check these player roles here. Minor league scoring forward. So no one's listed as a depth guy. Do we have any righties on this team? We always end up with like 0 righties, and I don't know why. So let's see. We got a 76. Now, Pedersen's a bit too good to end up on the 4th line. So, 3rd line works for him. And then 4th line, or 1st line, I should say. Let's go with that right there. So, who plays center? You play center, Soderlund. Who plays center? Let's go with... Yeah, we can go with Pedersen. They're all technically centers, but I'm looking at the actual rating. And then Asplund. Alright. So that's looking good. That is looking good for now. And we'll see what this team can do. Could argue for putting Elias Pettersson up on the 2nd line to get him a bit more ice time, but 3rd line isn't too bad. And then defensively, pretty much an entirely new defense. The main scratch right now is Tommy Hedberg, but he is high 70s, so I'm alright with that. We have Bernhard and Bronstrom. And actually, let's look here. Minor league top 2. He's the only minor league top 2. Interesting. So, do we have... We have one righty, again. Every time. We'll actually drop Cederholm down to play with Bernhardt. And, well, Wickstrand's not really going to develop, is he? Wickstrand and Dahlstrom. But we got to have Dahlstrom up there. Because otherwise, yeah. So, we'll have... You know what? That's looking alright. And then could have Wickstrand on the 4th pair. Yeah, or 3rd pairing, I should say. That's looking good. And the defense is looking good. We brought in Cederholm, Nassen, Dahlstrom. The defense is looking pretty damn good. And the goaltending, we are going to go with Adam Werner as the starter over Johansson, who we just acquired. Unfortunate for Marmanland, but he is going to have to be the scratch. And holy shit, this marathon episode has finally come to an end. I'm not even going to begin to try and recap what just happened. All you need to know is that we have a 96 offense, 93 defense, 90 goaltending. The AHL team's looking pretty good with an 80, 80, and an 84 for ratings. We missed the playoffs last year. Is that going to happen again this season? I would hope not. I would hope not. And I imagine there will be some controversy too with me having Alex Nylander on the second line. But it makes sense to try. He is listed as a second line forward. It makes sense to give that a chance and to let Rickard Rakell play on the top line, and we'll see what he can do. So far, he does have 3 assists, so we'll double check. And Alex Nylander actually has 2 points. We have options. That is the point. We have options. We could easily set the team back up the way that we intended and run with this. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. But guys, I'm starting to lose my voice. This has been a long-ass episode. So until next time, if you enjoyed this video, of course, make sure to hit that like button to help support the video and the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series and others. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of The Nation United.